1 year ago, I made a video called Max's Brown Brick Birthday Bash, and despite the fact that I hate that video immensely, I wanted to celebrate this milestone through a year in review. I'm really glad I started making videos, and after a full year of it, I'd definitely say I've gotten better at it. As of now, there are 4 categories of content and 13 videos total, and I want to go through each of them to give them a little peace of mind. The channel properly started off with these dreaded words. Kirby has to be one of my personal favorite video game franchises. The Kirby reviews were the first major projects I started working on. I enjoyed making these at first. I had always loved the Kirby franchise and wanted to go through the entire series, so giving my critiques while sprinkling in random facts about the games was fun for me. The first Kirby video was pretty poorly put together, was edited in 2 separate programs halfway through its production, and my voice in it is so unenthusiastic and quiet that you'd think I was trying to speak poorly on purpose. But I like it. There are actual jokes here, a few subtle and comedic edits, and I think I summarized my feelings on the game well. Every enemy in the game is here, even Boomer. Adventure was the first review to properly incorporate Do, who would later die. Who would later appear in Dreamland 2 looking a lot better. The Adventure review goes a lot more in-depth, and I managed to cover most of the content in the game. My voice was a bit more confident, the use of Do helped break up the lack of visuals in certain areas, and I used a lot of clips to demonstrate my points, all made within a week and a half of the Dreamland video. Levels also can commonly feel unfocused in environments. You go through a door from a grassland, and now Kirby has found himself in the depths of hell. Because school exists, it took a little longer for me to make the Dreamland 2 video, and in it I even joked about how it had been a month since the last review, which was crazy long. If only he knew. The Dreamland 2 review features the best Do drawings, graphics for whatever song begins to play, and probably the most in-depth critique of the reviews thus far, but there just aren't that many jokes. I started to be really sucked into making critiques and comments and spending so much time editing it all together that it made me demotivated to really incorporate jokes like I had done before. I'm sorry. Wait. Shinichi Shimamura, but I don't have the memory of an elephant. I spend all day playing games. What do you expect of me? And to end it all off, I give a dreaded quote that would go on to be mocked by myself and others ever since. Next, we're on to Kirby Superstar on the SNES, and trust me when I say it's gonna be a great time. Yeah, it's time to address that elephant in the room. The other one's just getting a soft drink out of the fridge. He'll be out of there in a second. Hey, that's my Sprite. You better not take it. I don't even know why I keep that guy around. He doesn't even pay rent. The Kirby Superstar review was hyped up several times to release relatively soon after the Dreamland 2 review, but the construction process of the reviews I had gotten sucked into ended up becoming very tedious for me, so much so that it became a hassle for me to want to even touch the project for several weeks. Even when I did try my best to work on it, I would get such little progress done each time that it felt like I was only chipping into a project that I wasn't prepared for. I learned from the Superstar video that it isn't really wise to hype up something that you've barely touched. The amount of times I promised the review's eventual release ended up being pretty disappointing to my friends, and I completely understand that. At the end of the day, this is a hobby, and I want it to stay that way, so if I don't find a project fun, then I probably won't continue it. The BD Cast was the next series I started to make to much different levels of success. Each one brings some different elements to the table. Jamaican Me Crazy was really just Joel and I having a recorded conversation, but bonding over Rasta Mouse was certainly the highlight.
I'll show that on screen now, but it's a picture of a plush toy of Rasta Mouse next to 2 slices of bread, both with tomato sauce and one has bacon on it.
The Good, the Blind, and the Ugly was a little less smooth between discussion points, but the pitch for Love at First Lack of Sight was really fun to listen to. Thanks, Alea.
There's a big story behind that. When I was little, all I wanted was more cats. Like, we had a cat, he died because the neighbors hit him with the car, shattered his
Lessons in Villainy was the most structured episode thus far, because Riley and I brought actual notes into it. Talking about villains with him was really fun, and I think people enjoyed it on the basis that it didn't once mention the penetration of a chihuahua's skull through the sharp edge of a high heel.
Lex Luthor in the comics is a pretty cool guy. He's a businessman, he is a super intelligent, and he just does a bunch of stuff to like fuck over Superman, even though he's just a normal person.
Yeah.
And then in this movie, he pisses in a jar and sends it to a judge. That's not. Is that? Are you serious?
Yeah, then he blows up the courthouse.
These 3 episodes are very sporadically released, mainly because it required getting my friends together, which was difficult sometimes, but the latest episode wouldn't be until last month. Search for Santa is very similar to episode 2 in that it has absolutely no structure and is tied together with toothpicks and duct tape, but that's honestly a very accurate reflection of conversations I have anyway, so I really don't mind.
So Riley, how's your day been?
Pretty shitty.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Is it because of the chicken nuggets?
No, it's not because of the chicken nuggets.
Very nice.
It's me, Santa Claus.
That's Max. Santa wouldn't sound so wimpy. Let's shut him up quickly.
Let's continue with something else.
I'll be real here, BDcast's main benefit for me is that it really doesn't take much time to make them, so I don't have to spend 9 months hyping it up to no avail. I really want to continue making BDcast, especially since people enjoy it so much. As for which type of episode I like more, it's hard to say. People have their own preferences, so I'd like to continue doing both. Before I cover the grand kahuna of content, let's go through what I like to refer as the crap. This category includes anything that doesn't fit the other types. Short, shameful, and shoddy, these are the type of things I really don't want to continue as much. I already briefly touched on Brown Brick Birthday Bash, but it basically comprises of a montage of my friends and I playing Scribble. It could be called an early version of Funnies, but I think the primary difference is that Funnies is funny. I've left it in the description so you can torture yourself, but I'm not letting that crap infect the video list. Now, Cheese Stick Conspiracy, on the other hand. This video started as a simple joke I made, overanalyzing a video of a guy getting his car assaulted by a heavily processed dairy product. But then I thought, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I turned this into a video? The answer was iffy. No script, hardly any visual content, music that's too quiet to even hear, and quite literally not a single cut. I made the entire thing in one night and released it to a response I wholeheartedly deserved. I realize in retrospect that if I'm gonna make something like this, it should have a script and be heavily edited, because that enhances the absurdity of making a video of overanalyzing a 5-second video, but I'm probably not gonna make something like this again anyway. And finally, the best thing to come out of me so far, Funnies. If you aren't aware, these are lengthy videos of me playing through the entire games of Peggle Knights and Plants vs. Zombies while making jokes and sprinkling in edits. And to me, it's definitely the direction I want to begin to take. Peggle Knights features a lot more drawn out talking points and less edits, while PvZ is a lot more of the opposite. Despite this, I like both of them equally as much. I truly think the style of these really fits my talents in both comedy and editing, and I'm really excited to continue making them. I already have a big list of games that I may play in the future, but be sure to leave a suggestion if you have one. Reminder, I only have a laptop, so make sure the game is low intensity so I can actually record it without tons of lag. I think everything I made last year culminated into these, with way more confidence in my voice and sense of humor, understanding the best structure for myself, and just overall being legitimately funny, and I can't wait to start making more. And that's it! All 13 of last year's lineup summarized to my liking. I mainly wanted to make this for myself to evaluate my own growth, and I think it will be a great point of future reference if I ever get myself off the ground. For 2021, I think a good start will be 2 videos every month, but at the very least I want to make 1 a month. Taking a look at the calendar for last year shows a less than impressive work ethic, so I want this year to be different. If I do one of these year in reviews things next year, then I want it to be really special. Of course, school will inevitably get in the way of this, so don't expect too much, but I think if I make 12 to 24 videos this year, then I'll be satisfied. And I've already done 2 by now. I originally had something here at the end that I scripted about just thanking people for the support and all that, and I want to scrap it. I think it's best that I do this just off the top of my head. I really enjoyed this, just this whole year. It's something I struggle a lot with motivating myself to do things like this. So being able to do it, even if I wasn't able to keep it consistent, I think was really enjoyable, but for everyone to be so, like, you know, looking out for me and even just supporting things, like, as soon as they came out, like, the premiere for Plants vs. Zombies Funnies was really fun. Like, everyone's just very nice, and I'm thankful for that. Even if I have no idea who you are, I still appreciate it. And, I guess just, for the future, I wanna just keep doing it, really. I just wanna keep getting better, and obviously there's gonna be, I said in there, there's gonna be, like, things that distract me and all that, but in the summary, or just in general, I just want to make it something that I feel like I can do consistently to a degree, and you know, I want to have a lineup that I'm fully proud of, where there's none of the crap that I had, you know, last year. But we'll see how it goes. But just thanks, even if you watch, like, barely anything at all. Just thanks for sticking by it, and see what happens this year.